top. I never thought that I would deserve something like this, or that anyone would even think to do this. For so many years, I've just had my nose down and just doing what needed to be done, and have a hard time keeping my mouth shut, and that has gotten me kind of pushed along the way. But to get to this point is so incredible, and thank you all for being here and taking time away from your families to be here and drink Aaron's free beer and enjoy just a little bit of time together. I appreciate it so much, and for Tana and the board to make this nomination for me. I said it a couple of times, to be nominated by your staff and your board and then reviewed by your peers and selected. There is no greater honor than that. You did good if you passed muster on those three cohorts of people. So that's really great. And of course, I think everybody knows I'm coming off a pretty tough year. 2018 was not good to me. And so many of you guys backed me up when I couldn't come and show up to things. I couldn't get my work done. A lot of people in this room stepped in and said, we got it, Jen, we can move it from here. So in some ways, I'm here accepting my reward, and then in some ways, some of you guys got us here. So thank you for packing up and getting over here and doing Jen's job for her while she couldn't do it. I was thinking about, like, well, I think it's talking heads, like, how did I get here? What just happened? Right? And so I've been in the Big Hole since 2004, and I was kind of going backwards, like, what happened? What got me here? And, well, I'm just dumb enough, and then have enough dumb luck that enough steps just kind of happen. I end up in the right places. But, of course, my husband, Dan, in 2004, started teaching me all about the Big Hole and the fisheries and how the fisheries and the riparian work together, and kind of taught me everything I knew about the entire Big Hole and how everything's connected and what it takes to have fish be healthy and how water needs to be healthy, and had me walk every one of those streams and really got to know the ground on such a small micro level. And of course he's not here anymore, but I had a great teacher getting me ready to go. So I feel like in a way this award's a little bit for him. And of course I think about, like, why did you do this? What possessed you? There's so many things you could be doing. And it's all about, doing the right thing for the resource. And that's the words Randy Smith uses all the time. You gotta put the resource first. And I try to keep that mindset of not worrying about pleasing people and not worrying about doing what everybody wants you to do, but just put the resource first and everything's going to be fine. And stay at a high level. Don't get lost in the details. Just do what we need to do to help the resource, because that's the one thing that we all have in common. Good data and a resource. And the rest of it's just fluff. Honestly, the rest of it is just yabber, yabber, yabber. And so if you get the yabber, yabber, and all kind of all be on the same page, then you end up in a pretty good spot. So, and then later on, of course, that made me get a little ballsier, honestly, but I got into the Big Hole and thought, well, if I can do it here, I can go a little bigger than that. And that made me interested to join MWCC and their mission across the state to get involved with Missouri Headwaters Partnership and see what we could do across the upper Missouri, and just having kind of an interest on that broader level. And of course that has now led to, here's the plug, SB 32, which we're all hoping is going to pass here in partnership with DNRC to get some coordinated working groups for stream gauging, and frankly that's a key core need when it comes to watershed groups. So I just kind of kept pushing on, but man, I had some great people behind me, and if I look at who I was when I came to the Big Hole and who I am when I leave, it's night and day. And I've learned so much from the great people that I've worked with. I absolutely adore the Watershed Committee Board. Have awesome staff backing me up, and have enjoyed teaching them everything I can teach them, and they are going to be just fine, and they are going to move on, and they're going to carry that legacy forward. This is the right time for me to step down and just take a little break. A few people say, what do you do? I don't have a plan. I don't. I'm just stopping here, and I'm going to take a little life break, and I'm going to pull myself together and figure out what to do next. But you can't pour from an empty cup. So. And certainly when you're working in nonprofit work, especially in the role as director for a nonprofit that's helping the resource, you better have a full cup in your heart to be able to get that work done. And admittedly, my cup's a little empty right now, so it's time for someone else to do it who's got a little fuller cup. And I'm going to go fill my cup back up, and I'll be back later, but for now I'm just going to take a little break. That's my plan, which it sounds reckless and awful, but that's all. So thanks everybody. I feel like I've missed the last year. The last major event I went to was January of 2018, which was the MWCC meeting in Helena, where we tried to define the watershed approach, which almost felt like philosophy, which I hated, which was try to come up with a definition of something that's kind of fluid, but you don't really want to define it anyway, and as soon as you think you've defined it, then you've undefined it, and you go back and start again. That's kind of where that conversation went. But it was a good exercise, and I think it got us all thinking, how can we try to define the watershed approach? And I think Erin ran with the few bullets that we could all agree on. I think she's been running with that, and that is good. But while I was at the meeting, I had a conversation with Ethan and Adam, and they're here, and so they are witness to this conversation. I brought props. I don't. Well, first is this. It's my vintage MWCC water